All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the live stream. This is the Prep Guy. We'll be looking through the EDPM syllabus, everything you need for CSEC 25, everything you really need to know. So, without further ado, let's actually go into the CSEC syllabus. Let me just go into this here. Look like everything's okay. All right. So, first of all, this is Ministry of Education, National Center for Educational Resource Development, National Scheme for Secondary Students. We'll be looking into the full dive into the CSEC syllabus, the criteria, the grading system, and much, much more. So let me start off with actually looking into the orientations of paper, the different types of orientation for paper. So everyone out there, you could grab your pen, you could grab your coffee, and let's jump into this live stream right now. So there are three key aspects to consider when selecting paper type. There is size, weight, and texture, which is orientations of paper, which we're looking into. So there is the portrait paper, there's a landscape, portrait, and there's landscape, and there are different sizes of paper. Let me could open up. You could usually find this paper within Microsoft Excel. You could find this in not Excel. You could find this in Word, Microsoft Word, devices around these lines. I will show you guys an example just now. This will be a relatively long live stream, but it's okay. International paper size, IPS, which is the international paper size. If you see IPS, that is usually referring to the international paper size. Referrals are widely used. It ranges from A0 to A9. A0 is the largest size, while A9 is the smallest, so there's a differentiation between sizes. So there are uses of various sizes of paper. So when you're ever going to do EDPM, there you have to basically use different sizes of paper for different purposes. That's what it simplistically means. So A4 is commonly used is a commonly used size when producing documents. It's sometimes subdivided into letter and legal. So A5 is used for short letters due to how it sizes. And we have in stationery, including letterheads, memos, forms, labels. So they are pre-printed documents with various information. They are used for various purposes and different types of paper. So there are different types of layouts. So different types of layouts. There is layout. There is blocked, semi-blocked, and fully blocked. So there are a lot of different types of layouts. Let me go into one example so I could show you guys what's going on here. So this example up on the screen right now, it's a semi-block. So it's a semi-block. Let me see if that's on screen there. Yeah, this type of layout is known as a semi-blocked. It's utilized because if you look at it carefully, this is informal little example. So if you take a closer look at it, it has its thing on the right and on the left. So this is a semi-blocked, and then we have fully blocked with everything on the left. Everything on the left that would be fully blocked, and there are some instances of fully blocked. Everything on the left side. So like, oh, everything's on the right, that would be a semi. Everything on the left side, that would be a fully blocked or blocked. So let's go back into the CSEC syllabus again. Let's go back into this here. So as discussed, so there are types of letters. So there's a short letter, there is a two-page letter, there is a circular letter, there's a circular letter with a tear-off slip, or a tear-off or cut-off slip. There's a letter with a table, letter with an insert, and letter with an enumeration. There are different types of letters, and in a later video, we're just going through the syllabus for this live stream. We're just taking an in-depth dive, but in the later live streams, we will be making a whole video covering up the whole syllabus, explaining all the important terms. So another thing we're going to look into So there's a document type. There's a two-page indented or fully blocked letter. A circle letter with a tear slip, as we said before, and that's a part of a letter, a part of an envelope. Could hardly even see it here, but I have to get a clearer image. But for now, let's look into the types of letter. So there's a window and envelopes, types of envelopes. So there's a window envelope, there's an airmail envelope, there's a catalog envelope, and there's an inter-office envelope. Quality of envelopes, there are the bond envelope, Manila envelope, and there's a parchment envelope. So there's different types of, and we have the padded envelope, and we have the sizes of envelopes, the C series, which is designed for A series paper. So there are a lot of different types of envelopes. And so let's look into some lines for composing business letters. So there is just whenever you're going to do a business envelope, because you have a clearly defined and stated letter. Think about it, be cautious, make sure that your word is in a prose form, meaning that it makes some concise amount of sense. Make sure that there's a subject and verb agreement, all these other things. Information should be delivered in a clear, concise, and complete manner. There is no need for explaining yourself. Be concise, point, then be over the point, and confidently. So there is no need for like overthinking it. Just make sure that your word is clear, it's concise, you articulated well enough, and stuff along them lines. So moving on. So the layout of memos, there is fully blocked and there's indented. Um, so when it comes to memos, which are short for memorandum. So this same, let's see, hopefully nothing. Yeah, this is short for memorandum. So just notice whenever you see a memo. So when it comes to a memorandum is a business document that is sent between persons who are is only for persons which is business. So if you're working within some store, like for example, Samsung, they will send up the memo to you personally and every other employee. Memorandum is in particular to persons within a specific organization, not outside of the organization. So an advice would be short memorandums may be typed on A5 paper and set in landscape or portrait orientation between those two choices. So a long memorandum are typed on A4 paper. They can have a continuation page. So there are different types of meeting documents. The main meeting document, notice of a meeting, agenda, chairman's agenda, and minutes of meeting. So now let's look into some of these terms. For notice of a meeting, the notice of meeting is usually sent out 14 days before and could contain the agenda of the meeting. The agenda presents a list of items that will be addressed, and we have the chairman's agenda, contain details that assist the chairman in conducting a meeting. And we have the minutes of a meeting, presents brief, accurate, unbiased reports for the meetings of the minutes of a meeting. It is usually to the affairs of what happened in the last meeting, basically a report of everything that happens in the last meeting. So for example, in the minutes of meeting, we may have like, for example, in the minutes of meeting, we have like the date, list of activities and stuff like that, of everything that happened within that particular date and within that particular meeting. So let's go down the line. So graphics, there are different types of graphics. So within, if you let me just open up Word. I think Word would be the best thing for actually illustrate this. Let me just go into Word. Hopefully, you guys give me a couple of seconds. All right, let me just stop sharing. Let me see Word. All right, let me see if we go into Word. Guys, like I'm not finding the Word. There's a share the entire screen. Hopefully, this will work. All right, I cannot share the screen, but I'll have to make a separate video on that. But for now, let's go back into the syllabus. To back into the syllabus. So graphics including graphs, charts, pictures, clip art, shapes, smart art, and word art. And if you're in Word, I mean into Word, you will see all these things. And another advice you could actually do in with it. Um, so they're usually like oral presentations whenever you're going when you're in fifth form, fourth form, or when you're in EDPM. These graphics could be utilized to actually assist you in presentation process and even in doing your SBAs for EDPM. So displays, there is the flyer, the menu, invitation, program notice, card, and the columnar work. Moving on into our next. So there are different types of advanced display. There's a flow chart, organizational chart, graphs, and newsletters and leaflets. And if you want to know more about that, there is this thing called Smart Art, so that you could do flow charts, you could do organizational charts in a very concise and quick way. That's just an advice from me. So legal documents, there is the will, there is a lease, there's a convenience, an agreement, and contract. These, when you're going to do your SBs, you will find them very often within those things. So there's technical documents such as builder or architect specifications, and there's the bills of quantity and scope of works. And there's also the literary documents, plays for radio, theater, and television. There's the actor scripts. There's the index cards, poem, novels, and short stories are all literary documents that could be done in the computer and different programs. And there's the financial statements, such as the trial balance. This is something you do in principle of accounts. The balance sheet, profit and loss statement, income and expenditure, invoice, bank statements, and there's also receipts. So let's look into what is a template, right? A template is a preset design for a document that control elements such as font, page layouts, and formatting. MS Word documents templates. However, users can create their templates. So a template is a preset design for a document that controls elements such as front, page layout, and formatting. They are useful since they save time from creating documents every time. It can help your design help your design become interesting, compelling, and professional looking documents by utilizing a template. A template is basically a preset, meaning that it's created and you just go into it and you could basically put whatever you want in it, basically. So that is what a template is. It's a preset design. So there's different types of electronic communications: electronic mail, aka the email. There is the internet via World Wide Web. There is the social media platforms such as Wedlogs, podcasts, and even YouTube, TikTok, and all these other platforms. Social networking services such as Facebook, Twitter, and Twitter. These are all social networking services. Then we have the Facsimile Fax. We have multifunctional devices. We have short messages service, SMS. We have Messenger that is now very updated to the society. Then we have telecommuting, teleconferencing, and video conferencing are all electronic communications that are utilized. And all these terms, you need to have some at least some substantial amount of knowledge on it before you're heading into CSEC. Moving forward, features of email. There is multiple recipients um, to carbon courtesy copy, CC. There's blind carbon copy, which is BCC. We have attachments, address book, notifications, new message, failure. Then we have autoresponder, organized messages. So what are some advantages of the electronic mail dash email? So speed of delivery, cost, efficient. You don't have to pay any money really. Here the term really, but you still have to pay some money in some instances. So there's multiple recipients. You can send this document to multiple persons over a wide range of individuals in a matter of seconds, sending of various file types, ease of access, and electronically stored data. So mean that when you send something, it automatically saves it. There's also mobility. You can be flexible with it. You can send it to anyone you want. There isn't a limit to the amount of people you can send to. So what the disadvantage of the electronic mail is cyber crimes. People can actually infiltrate your documents and actually do a set of other things. There is distractions. People sending multiple things to you over and over again can be distracting. Spams. People could investors and big organizations can want to sell a product and might send 100 emails to you at the same time. It could become very annoying. Information overload, too much emails to one person, violation of privacy whenever you just send inappropriate things. Sometimes it happens. Spreading of malware, it could become antivirus could actually influence your computer and actually invade it, or some other device such as your phone, laptop. Malware viruses can actually come through it. Unsolicited bulk email, you know that there's a set of emails that you may not want to read. So technologies in today's society include smartphones, blogging, Facebook, Twitter, file organization, method, storing and sorting data by date, sender, and subject, contact list organization, factors including degree of urgencies, genre, oral, written, visual, level of confidentiality, location, time zone, cost, efficiency, effectiveness. So some terms you need to really understand is the manual filing system and electronic filing system. And as it were, manual refers to man, and manual in its simplistic sense means work by literally physically doing something. Electronic mean that you go on your dock, you go on your computer, you file it on your computer. Manual filing system is you now like taking a document. Let me just give you an example. Like this here, you literally take a document, you put it inside. And that would be in a straight sense, like literally. So let me just give it in the most simplistic sense I could possibly can. So you take in this document, you have this document here, and you put it in here. That would be manual filing system. And then electronic filing system is you going in your computer, you create a file, you create a document holder, and then you put your documents in that. So let's keep on moving. Um, Continuing down the stream, let's talk about this stuff. So types of data processing documents. There is the source documents. There's the turnaround document. There's machine readable documents. So there's different types of data processing documents. There's drivers, folders, and files. File extension and file type, doc or docs, MS Word file. There is the exe executable file. There's the GPG graphic file, and there's the HTML, the hypertext markup language or web page. File integrity is ensured by, so there's ways of you could protect in your documents. There's the encryption, read-only access. There's the virus protection. There's restriction access, and there's the override protection. So there's a lot of things that could be utilized to protect your documents, or file security is ensured by different platforms and different organizational methods such as password, firewall, disaster recovery mechanisms, for example, fireproof and waterproof cabinets and backup systems. So concepts that I like to look into is the file retention. So there's archiving, retention period, disposal, legal limit for retaining files, version of control. So there's a lot of ways you can actually control or version of control every documentation. There's the traceability of document versions, and two, there is the versionizing. Successive versions of documents that change over time, metadata, data stored in document including date created, date modified, date access, owner, and access privileges. So when we refer to the term um, versioning, we're basically referring to, like, for example, the date the document was created, the owner of this document, the time it took to actually create this document. I will show you that on a later video. I will show you the exact feature on how versioning is actually work. But for now, we're just looking through the syllabus. So we don't have a long more to go on this here. So what is intellectual property? Another term for intellectual property is IPs. Is IPs. So what is IPs exactly? IPs is a very simple. So if I created like this phone, there's different mechanisms that is created for me to be protected my intellectual this phone to be created so that nobody else could recreate this phone and sell it back. That would be stealing my intellectual property. So intellectual property terms includes copyright. So copyright is your right to sue and fine anyone that is utilizing your product and they did not ask for permission. There is the plagiarism. Plagiarism, like for example, like right now I'm creating YouTube content. If someone is to take my content and utilize another platform or post it back on them channel, that would be plagiarism because they're taking work, they're taking my content, they're taking my work that I did. And there is trademark, there is trade secret, there is patent, and there's industrial design. I will look through those terms in a later date. So rights that are protected receive payment. Whenever someone is utilizing your content, they need to pay or utilizing your product, they need to pay you in some sort to actually utilize it. There's the moral rights, violating the integrity and reputation of the author through misrepresentation or misquoting. If I were to write a book on, like, for example, I had a quotation, I think that Martin Luther King said a very while back. He said, if you can't run, creep, or if you cannot creep, crawl. And if I was to misquote that saying, it was one of his biggest speeches, like one of the biggest speeches in history. If I were to basically misquote that, that would be and and going against his integrity in that sense. If I were to misquote that said, I think I actually misquoted it, but I just saying if I were to actually misquote it, it would be going against his moral integrity in that sense, and it would be going against his copyright, basically going against his IP and basically going against his intellectual property. So, what is copyright in the most simplistic of terms? Copyright enables the producer of a work to control the use of the material. It occurs automatically when there is some record of what has been created. Persons affected by copyright are producers or owners, publishers or distributors. So, works that can be copyrighted are original literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic works, song recording, films, broadcasts, or cable programs. There's the typographical arrangements of published editions. So, I just said back what's plagiarism. Plagiarism is conceptualized as the use of someone's intellectual property without giving appropriate acknowledgement of references in text and bibliography, meaning that you cite where you get the information from, so that the portion is actually acknowledged for their work, and that's what references and bibliography is there for. Obtaining approval for other person's work asks the person for the right to use their IPs because it is not yours. So ask for that before you could do anything else. So there's a bibliography or reference using the APA style example, Jacobson Augustin. So this style, let me just think this here. Whenever you're formatting a document like this is how you do the APA style. We're just going through, we're just breezing through. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'll leave the stream on. Guys, I'll come back in a couple of seconds. All right, welcome back, guys. I'm just returning from my little break. So, we're near covering 12. You only have a couple more pages left for this year. So there's accepted standard of works are grouped under the following: the organization of work and workstation, quality of assignment for submission, execution of effective time management, follow-up procedure. So these are the standards of work, and these are standards of work for everyone. So how did you manage your time? Was it effectively managed? That is one way of actually grading you. The organization of work and workstation. What is your work? How is your work ethic actually? How is it? What is your orientation of your work and stuff like that? So that would be everything for the CSEC syllabus for EDPM. 30 minutes actually go through it. So this is just a look through it so that we could have a general idea of what is coming for CSEC 2025. Elements of desirable habits and work attitude. You need to be willing. You need to meet deadlines. You have to have that team spirit and cooperation, recognition of diversity, courtesy, punctuality and regularity, good grooming, personal integrity, and respect for others. All of these are desirable qualities if you want to be somebody who has good work ethic and good work attitudes and good work habits. So this is everything for the CSEC run through for EDPM syllabus. So it's so nice to be today, guys, on this channel. See you guys. I like the retention. Hasn't been a little while since I actually had such a good retention for a very long time. So guys, I'll be going to live stream next couple of minutes. See you then later.